Hey, welcome back to the Life Coach Launchpad. My name's BJ, and I'm here every week talking to you about all the online business things that, as it turns out, need to happen in order to have a successful life coaching business. I'm a business coach. I love to help life coaches make more money, get more clients, have more fun, and to do what they love to do, what they're meant to do, and that's coaching. So, let's dive right in. It is January. That means it's time to get back to work from holiday break. For us here in St. Louis, Missouri, the day we were supposed to go back to work and school, 7 inches of snow came down. The kids were out of school for 3 days. Not only have I not gone through my annual goal setting process, it feels like everything got turned upside down for a bit. But I've been going through a goal setting process every year for at least 5 years now. I know the critical parts of the process. And something else that makes my work and my life even more beautiful is that I get to work with talented coaches who think totally differently than I do and think about topics that are totally different than what I normally think about. I am naturally a very technical person, and that served me very well as an engineer for 11 years. Now I get to learn from my clients who are life coaches and mix that expertise in with my engineering mindset. With that in mind, I've identified what stops people from identifying their goals and therefore not achieving them. And that simply is resistance. If I told you right now to stop this podcast and go write down your goals, you probably wouldn't. The reason is because you would feel a resistance to doing that, and you would likely go do something else, something more enjoyable. What's the source of that resistance? Primarily confusion. There's some confusion from not knowing the exact steps required. There's also confusion around why you should do it in the first place. Regarding why you should very clearly define your goals, and 99 times out of 100, the best way to do that is to write them down, by the way. What defining your goals delivers for you is that it gives you a breather from the whirlwind of everyday life and lets you step back to determine what you really want out of life or business or family, all of them. If you don't, you will achieve whatever is thrown your way. You will not be in control. You will tackle problems that find you instead of the challenges that you seek out and find. I will move on to the process super soon, but I do want to mention a metaphor that comes to mind. Think of an airplane pilot. Without knowing precise coordinates on where to head, there's no telling where the airplane will end up. And the slightest little bit of change in where you're heading makes a big difference in terms of your final destination. If the pilot knows they need to head northeast at 40 degrees, they will likely end up at their desired destination. So just like a pilot knowing the precise heading, we want to have a clear picture of what we want to accomplish. And that brings me to my goal setting process that I've honed over the years. It features just the essentials, because the absolute most important part of the process is that you do it. That's why I've stripped out steps like adopting a growth mindset and finding your why. These are all good things. Some people should go do them, but more than anything else, I want you to have a goal setting process. I've made it super simple. My wife gave me a popular goal setting system probably 3 months ago, but I haven't started it because it looks really long. I know that she dedicated at least 10 hours to it and has more to go, and that's not my style. I'm about the quick and dirty, implementing the 80% rule as often as possible. I recommend that you time block 1 hour total. This doesn't have to be perfect, but it does require deep thought. Once you find time to get started, the first step is to reflect on the past year. What worked well and what didn't? What should you start doing? What should you stop doing? Were there any new offers that took off or didn't? What can you learn from that? Where are you now versus this time last year? What are the primary factors causing that change? Skim through your calendar from the year, from your notes, and answer these questions. Take a moment to go through this step. You can stop this podcast and do it now, or you can just come back to the process later. Step 2 is to design your future. I'm reminded of an excerpt from Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. It's an exercise of imagining your own funeral. It sounds morbid at first, but it encourages us to reflect on how we wish to be remembered by family, friends, colleagues, and community members. By contemplating the desired legacy in the words others might say, one can gain clarity on personal values and life goals. This introspection serves as a foundation for aligning your daily work with your long term aspirations. This ensures that your life is purpose driven and focused on what truly matters. The way you do this is by picturing yourself how you want others to view you in terms of work or business. Then, how you want family, friends, community members to see you. And lastly, how you want to see yourself. For each of those three scenarios, write about 2 to 3 sentences. Write it in the third person. Here's what I wrote down for how I want my peers and clients to see me as a business coach. BJ is a master at crafting the perfect, completely customized marketing funnel for life coaches. He is always seeking to help others along their coaching journey, and in doing so has learned to simplify and share all the best practices. That's mine for how I want others to view me in terms of business. You'll do that for how you want your family, friends, and community members. You can split those apart if that's appropriate for you, and again, for how you want to view yourself. Obviously, you're not going to be speaking at your own funeral, but this is about personal growth. To say it again, you're writing 3 different visions. The first one is how you want to be viewed in your business. The second one is how you want to be viewed by family and friends and maybe community members. And the third one is how you want to view yourself. There are 4 key dimensions of personal growth and mastery. These names come from Robin Sharma's book, The 5 a.m. Club, which totally changed my life. First is your mindset. This is the most familiar of the 4. This pertains to your mental state and beliefs. Cultivating a positive and growth-oriented mindset enables you to overcome challenges and seize opportunities. It's about harnessing the power of your thoughts to shape your reality. For me, I am always seeking online business education, naturally guided by curiosity. As I implement what I learn, I will continue to grow as a thought leader for life coaches who are ready for more clients and more income. My continuous education comes from reading every day, consulting with peers, purchasing online programs, and more. So the second dimension is health set. So everyone's heard of mindset. This is health set. This dimension focuses on your physical health. Maintaining a strong health set involves regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest, which are essential for sustaining energy and vitality. For me, I stay strong so that I can perform when there's something fun I want to do with my wife and kids. I do this by working out every morning, whether that's Apple Fitness Plus, running, or CrossFit. There are 2 other dimensions. For me, I blend them together. Your vision for yourself may be different for these 2. The third dimension is heart set, and I'll just give you a sneak preview. The fourth dimension is soul set. Heart set relates to your emotional well-being. Addressing and processing emotions such as anger, sadness, or resentment is crucial for personal development. A healthy heart set allows for emotional intelligence and resilience. To enhance your heart set, here are some actions you can take. Acknowledge your emotions. Find constructive outlets for your emotions such as journaling, talking with a trusted friend, or engaging in creative activities like art or music. Practice forgiveness. Let go of grudges to release negative emotions and promote inner peace. Cultivate gratitude. Daily gratitude journaling can shift focus from negative to positive aspects of life, enhancing emotional resilience. Engage in acts of kindness. Performing kind deeds for others can boost your own emotional state and foster a sense of connection and empathy. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Engage in mindfulness meditation to develop greater emotional awareness and regulation. So you get to pick and choose which ones are most appropriate for you. That's kind of a long list to develop your heart set. And the fourth dimension is soul set. Like I said, I put the heart set and soul set together. A lot of the actions are similar, but I'm going to explain both of them so you can choose what works best for you. Soul set pertains to your spiritual well-being and sense of purpose. Engaging in practices like meditation and reflection, they help you connect with your higher self and align with your core values. These are some actions you can take to enhance your soul set. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Engage in daily meditation to connect with your inner self and cultivate inner peace. Spend time in nature. Immerse yourself in natural surroundings to foster a sense of connection and tranquility. Engage in acts of kindness. Perform selfless deeds to nurture compassion and a sense of purpose. Declutter your environment. Simplify your physical space to create mental clarity and openness. Read spiritual literature. Explore writings that resonate with you to gain insights and inspiration. For me, I will keep an orderly workspace. I do, and I will continue to do so. I will train in transcendental meditation this year. I read books that enhance how I view my life, write what I'm grateful for in a journal, and consistently find acts of kindness from my family. I will continue progressing in glass blowing and bonsai. Little actions like that make me appreciate all that I have. So these visions that I've shared, examples of my own visions that I've shared, these are just wishes or dreams at this point. In order to make this reality, we have to make concrete goals around them. An easy way to ensure your goals have enough structure to them is to follow the SMART goals methodology. That brings us to step 3. The third step is to create concrete goals. SMART is an acronym used to guide effective goal setting. It stands for specific, which means clearly define the goal to focus efforts. Measurable, establish criteria to track your progress. They're achievable, set a realistic and attainable goal. They're relevant, ensure the goal aligns with broader objectives, which is the vision that we just created, visions. They're time-bound, set a deadline to create urgency. This framework helps in creating clear, attainable, and meaningful goals. For each of the visions that you've written so far, you'll want to create SMART goals that will help achieve them. Each vision will have multiple goals associated with it, and in one individual goal could affect multiple visions. That was the third step. The fourth step is to time block the actions. That is how we get anything done. For example, and this is pulling from several of the visions I created, I will continue to implement my morning routine. I will spend 20 minutes reading something inspiring that will enhance my heart set and soul set. Then I'll exercise vigorously for 30 minutes, which will enhance my health set. I will time block regular occurrences of times where I will work on educational programs. I have 2 in mind that I'm currently working on. I know of a new offer that I will be making public in a few months, but my first steps are to flesh out all the details and get the marketing materials set for that. I'm still working on all my big goals for my business, but actions to accomplish them all will go in as regular time blocks in my calendar. While that's the end of the process, it was just those 4 steps, and I know that this is not a quick exercise. As I mentioned at the beginning, the first step is to block the time you need to do this exercise. If you move through it quickly, accept your first few ideas and move on, acknowledge that 80% is good enough for now, then 1.5 hours should be good. Of course, you are welcome to take as much time as you need. I've designed this process to be the essentials. You could take this exact same process and you could spend all day on it. Don't get me wrong. And when you hear about other coaches, other thought leaders, recommendations on how to do this, yeah, they take longer, but I want you to do this. So I have pared it down to as little time as it needs in order to get that 80% result. I just want to position this process as something approachable. The absolute most important part is that you spend time thinking about where you want to be heading in both business and life. I will leave you at that for this week. If you'd like help plotting your course for 2025 and then implementing it, you can schedule a free mini session at bjbutler.com.